Good morning. You're right there. Anyway, I am at my cricket square to do a little bit of ongoing maintenance. It's obviously not being used. Whether it will be used, who knows at the moment. So at the moment I'll be giving it a double verticut, a pedestrian mow with a Honda to hoover all the arisings up, and then a cylinder mow to finish off, just to take it down to a nice level. So here we have one Sisis Auto Roto-rake Mark IV with a verticut cylinder on. So this is going to rotate in this direction and just cut through the grass, taking off any horizontal growth, lifting out some of any of the trash that's in it, and just sort of slicing, combing through it. I'll be going in two directions, one at 2 o'clock, one at 10 o'clock. Auto Roto-rake Mark IV with verticut. I did change the engine on this because the old engine died, the old mag engine, so I've got this live fan, not sure which one, with the appropriate reduction gearbox on. It did take a little bit of fabricating to make a different plate up so that it ran in line with the belt, which wasn't too bad. It was a bit of messing around to make it up, but touch wood, it all works fine, and so far has been just doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm going to be running these blades just so they're just touching the surface, just touching the soil. We're not digging into the soil, we're just slicing through it as low as we can go without disturbing the lovely compact clay loam. So we'll drop in that. So we got, we're picking up things like this. We're lifting up these girt long stemmy bits, which don't really want it in there. They sort of smother other nicer growth. And usually when this has been used as a wicket, this is all shaved right down. All these will be taken off, and it'll just be the little tiny stumps of grass down there on the wicket. So as it's not being used, just getting a bit more of this. The other reason I will be doing this a bit more is because at the end of cricket season we will usually be renovating the entire square, and if it is not used, there is then the option to not renovate. And so I'm trying to keep this in a condition that if it is not used, then the condition of the surface as it is could be carried over until next year. Now there's the financial benefit of that, but there's also the risk that the grass might not be as good, the wickets might not be as good next year. I'm keeping an eye on all the forums and advice and everything. Some people are definitely going ahead and renovating as normal. Some people are not going to do anything. So it's all a bit up in the air at the moment. The level of cricket we play here, it is more likely than not that if it is not used at all, I will not renovate, and I will carry this over till next year, because we don't need lords here. We need stuff we need a wicket for a school and a village cricket team. Obviously, as a groundsman, I would like to prepare the best surface possible, but at the same time I'm an employee of a school that is going through a bit of a tricky time, as we all are at the moment. And what the situation is when we come out of COVID is anyone's guess, but it's going to take a bit of a hit. So as the head of grounds, I've got to be doing my bit to try and save pennies where possible, and if that involves not spending 800 quid on renovations plus time, then so be it. So that's why I'm doing this a bit more this year. I want to keep the grass that's already here in as best condition as possible to hopefully take it through to next year. Okay, so we've double verticut. It's taking all this stuff out and lifting this. Look at that pantaloon. We've got all this stemmy rubbish. That's all out, and now I'm going to hoover it up with a Honda. I have one Honda 537, which will be on its lowest setting with a collector bag ready to go. Now, I would usually run a roller mower over cricket squares, don't usually put wheeled stuff on it apart from renovations, but it's so hard at the moment. 4 little wheels aren't going to make sod all difference, and I'll get a couple of extra inches. Okay, so what I've decided to do is I'm doing 2 runs with the Honda because the lowest setting is lower than I thought it was going to be. I've never used it before, well, not for a while anyway. So it's cutting at a height which is okay for now. I'll run the cylinder over it next week, but it's not quite picking everything up, so I'm going to go over it twice with this one in different directions. And that'll be done then, but it's not looking too bad there. Okay, that's that done. There's a few steps done today, so we end up with fairly nice looking square that wants a little bit of water, a little bit of feed these next coming few days, but we end up with something like that, which is looks all right. I do believe it is late lunchtime. Hurrah! Today it is bacon and egg sarnie, lovely jubbly.